You're welcome to the Optimized Podcast with Osayi Tres Omokaro. This is one of my ways of helping individuals and businesses to optimize so they can earn more and hire more. And together, we're able to reduce unemployment, crime, and criminality in our society. So sit back, relax, listen for that insight that truly transforms because your earning and your hiring matters to us. Hello, today I'm welcoming you to the Optimized Podcast with Osayi Tres Omokaro. We're going to be dealing on a topic that's very dear to our hearts because I realize that parenting is something that is entrusted to us most times without any formal preparation. And majority of the times, would even say not just majority of the time, but in reality, parenting is entrusted to us by God. Beyond the fact that when you get to a certain age, people begin to look up to you. Outside of that, I want to also talk about the one that, for instance, these are people you giving birth. It means God has entrusted other humans with full-blown capacity into your hands for you to develop their capabilities to unleash the capacity they came with. And my challenge is the fact that nobody intentionally prepares a parent or parent. That's on the larger scale. But even the majority of parents that are powered by intentionality still do not see the need prioritize financial parent. So that leads to me wanting to about parenting financially. So on this podcast, the Optimized Podcast with Osayi Tres Omokaro, our topic today is parenting financially. Because research has it that habits are formed from age 0 to 7. And what you do afterward is to consolidate this habit or begin to remold the habit. But I'm thinking to myself, what if people understand this and intentionally begin to inculcate habits that will help us raise wealthy children? By wealthy children, I'm not talking about children who are extremely money conscious. Wealth goes beyond just money, and money is a very fundamental part of it. So today I want to talk to you parents as to how you can turn your home to a financial education center. Understanding that everything you do teaches your children what to do. Your children love you so much that they will not just do what you say, they'll rather want to do what you do. If financial literacy is not one of the taught in schools, and for schools where they are being taught, people are taught on how to prepare themselves to get a job and convert their time to money. That is majority of what most talking about. Beyond just earning, there is this saving culture that needs to be developed. There is the mindful spending culture that needs to be developed. Then there is the investment mindset that needs to be developed. Then there is what is called a general financial management, personal financial management that needs to be developed. Where will your children learn all of this if not from you? So this validates the reason why we have to do what we're doing today. And I welcome you to our podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do well to subscribe to this YouTube channel, as many of these financially related conversations will be coming up here weekly. But if you're listening to this on any of your favorite podcasts, the Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever podcast channel that you use, do well to follow us, subscribe, so these engagements can continue to impact you. So, first question, what do you teach children at various ages? Because the essence of curriculum, the essence of grading teaching methods is the fact that our brain matures as we grow. So there are things you can't force into a child at certain age. So at age 3 to 5, thereby turn through your words, through your actions, through your guidance, through your behaviors, through your exposures, just begin to help your children to learn between the difference between want and need. Because truth is, children believe that because the strategy they use at childbirth, when they cry, they get whatever they needed. Their brain developed to believe that everything I want, I can have. But it's your responsibility to help to correct that notion. Even economy says that human wants are insatiable. They are correct. The human needs are not. Human want cannot be fully satisfied. There is hardly any human, even those you look up to that you think that they are financially stable, their wants are still not all fully satisfied. So human wants cannot be fully satisfied. So you want to help your children at this tender age to understand the difference between needs and want. As seemingly unimportant as you may think this is, it will guide them through. Then as they tilt towards age 6 and 10, you want to start teaching them the meaning of saving and saving. Because when you begin to teach them the difference between wants and needs, of course, within that same period, we're also beginning to share with them how, how to exchange your time, your energy, your value, your virtues, and money, all that related virtue. Let them understand the history of money as it started from trade by barter. So when they think about a desire, the first thing that comes up in their heart is, what has God endowed me with that I can trade for this desire? At every point in time, we all have something to give. Let them understand that there is value and they can choose to trade it for what they want. Let them understand that the little they have already is value that can be traded to more. Is value that can be traded to respect, that can be traded to build relationship. The reason I've tried to put in all of this balance so that you don't raise a set of children that are extremely money conscious. But let them understand at age 6 to 10, let them begin to understand the difference between savings. Let them begin to learn the difference between mindful spending. Taking them out instead of them to be pointing things you're buying, put the money in their hands, give them a budget, let them understand that they have to make choices. Let them understand that what is in their hands, not buy everything they need. They have to make choices. Let them understand what is called the opportunity cost. I need these two things, but my money can only buy one. Which should I buy? I have to make all of those choices. As young as between age 6 and 10, let them begin to understand this. Any saving and mindful spending. Then at age 11 to 13, begin to introduce them to budgeting and the importance of plan. Introduce your children to the concept of budgeting and the importance of letting them understand that you don't just spend because you have. You don't just spend because there is a need. Because you have sat down, planned for the needs that will arise, and plans for how to spend. Planning ahead of time will give them the opportunity to think what should be bought and what should not be bought now. The issue of opportunity cost comes at the point of planning. You know what you're doing? At this age, you are helping them to deal with impulse buying. Because you know that majority of us adults, part of our struggle today, impulse buying. So, teaching and parenting your children from this will help their personal financial code. Then at age 14 to 18, remember, let me remind us parents, you have 18 years parents your children. I think that's something that majority of us are conscious. My daughter would always say, I want to get married at age 20. Yes, she's grown up, now she's 15 anytime soon. She may begin to have a change of mind, but she had said that years back. I think God led her to say that. You know what? God that created a consciousness that I only have 18 years to parent this child. Anything I do not inculcate within her in these 18 years, I may not have the opportunity to do it. You know, there was a time we put her in boarding school, but I began to feel like I have yanked her off. This was in our secondaries. And I asked myself, this child, when she comes out of secondary school at age 16, possibly she goes straight to the university. When she's coming back from the university, she gets into her husband's house. God then does in the plan based on what she has said. Whereas, when do I have the time to inculcate the values that I didn't even learn from my own parents? We pulled her out. She moved from my house today. And as we see, age 15, she's launching. She has authored a book. And I can trace that to the fact that she has seen me author. As of now, I've authored 5. Some are printed, some are just soft copies that you can buy on Amazon and all that. You know, I think that environment helped her. So let me, at age 14 to 18, begin to discuss the concept of investment, the history of banking, the value of delayed gratification. You know, I think when we do this, we'll raise our children will not be led by money. Because the truth is, this entire conversation is not to raise children that are so money conscious, but it's actually to raise children that will place money where it truly belongs. Because the truth is, some persons are led by money. Because that pursuit of money will make them have enough. But the truth is, it never happens. But others who do not have, who think that we shouldn't pursue money, they are broke. And because they are broke, they are now led by the same lack of money. Because they end up doing jobs they wouldn't have loved to. They end up even marrying the spouses they wouldn't have loved to marry because they just can't afford the ones they are desired. So lack of money is worse than even children that are money conscious. When someone is money conscious and the person ends up getting wealthy, for instance, you can begin to manage that consciousness. And when someone is broke, you're still going to help to welcome the consciousness and begin to teach them how to attract wealth. So I think that balance is the key. Then let's look at some practical steps. I'm going to share 6 practical steps to wrap up this podcast because I don't want this to be too long. First, understand that you are their role model and you must model the financial habit you want of your children. Children learn by observing. Show some of these money habits that you want them to embrace. Show them, not just tell them. Example is budgeting as a family. Let your children understand when they ask for something. So that's not in this month's budgets. We have to remember, let's note it down so we have it in our next month's budget. These are ways you speak to their consciousness. So when your children want to talk, they'll say, Daddy, I need this thing. Please, I think we need to add it to our next month's budget. You're teaching them. Avoid, you know, do not engage in impulse purchases. Ensure that financial decisions are discussed as a family. I always encourage families to use what I call family financial policy, individuals to build personal financial policy that determine what you do to spend each amount of money, what you do to earn. That's when you create policies around yourself to tell yourself there are things we can never do as a family to earn money, because you don't also want to raise children that see money as so much valuable they can trade anything to have it. So you must model it. Then secondly, you must introduce the value of earning by exposing them to how you, a lot of parents earn money, do a lot around their children. But if you call their children outside and say, what's your daddy doing? How does your daddy earn? They don't know. Show them. Then you can begin to incentivize some of their house chores. I know there is a possibility of abuse to this when children are saying, oh, if I do this, daddy, how much will you pay me? You are the parents, you have to find a way to balance this, especially when you have children who are trying to run away from job. Let them understand that work generates money, whether you do it at home or you do it outside. There was a time I was paying my first daughter money for washing my cars because she saw me take this car out and pay people for doing it. She may not do it perfectly, but I was trying to send something to her consciousness. Then, third, teach them savings early. When I talked about paying my daughter when she was washing my car, what I was doing was I'll take the money out, put it in our piggy bank. We have this wooden savings that we used. Then I'll put it inside. She sees that. She knows that she has that kind of money. Teach them savings. Encourage savings. Let them understand that this is what you're supposed to spend. This, have it ahead. Whatever you refuse to spend because you are managing your impulses, when you bring it back, I will double it. You are not only encouraging savings, you're only telling them that when you save money, the money grows. Just that at this time, the growth is structured around that, structured around money. These are tips that can help. Then the fourth is make financial conversations fun, regular in your family. Make financial conversations fun and regular in your family, because what you don't talk about dwindles. What you talk about regularly grows and stays in your home. So make financial conversations regular. Have them talk with you. When you don't hear from them about their thoughts about finance, you don't have the opportunity to correct. Green lights. When you see green, it gives you opportunity to consider at that age. But just imagine parenting without all of this conversation going on. Fifth, teach them smart spending, what I would call mindful spending. You don't just spend because you have money, have a need. Your spending must be budgeted and spending must be done from the budget. Then finally, open a bank account for them as children. My privileged opportunity to have worked in the bank helped in doing this, well, particularly for my first daughter, because my bank then supports you with a certain amount at childbirth, and they will insist that we open an account for that child. The money is paid into that account. That's my daughter's account is what she still used till this. And we see the alert, because she's not up to 18, but we try to show them the alert so they know what is their savings account. Use these 6 tips and let me know which you're going to start using right away as you're listening to this podcast or as you're watching this on YouTube. Quickly, let me run around these common mistakes that we make as parents. We're going to take this down now. And if you want to engage our services, really, first of all, I just launched my course, Mind Your Money course. It's out there on Seller. The link will be somewhere on this video where you can connect to buy that course. Then we are building a platform that we've called the Mind Your Money Academy. We're going to have a portion where we teach parents. We're going to have a portion where we teach children. We're going to have a portion for teenagers, and we're going to have a portion for adults like us. Because I realize if you live in Nigeria, you would have heard of the word HK. It's a system where fraudsters bring in some younger people and they are mentoring them into fraud. Because there's so much poverty, gravitate towards anything that would teach them about money. But the challenge here is that a lot of parents who do not know enough, do not know what to teach these children. There are myriads of opportunities to earn on the internet that our children, our teenagers can begin to learn. These are some of the things we've been doing on that platform. And I will encourage jump on the wait list. So as we release that plan, be one of those to engage in faith. Our work is to ensure that Africans are restored financially because it starts from our thinking. That's why we don't just teach about money, we teach about your money. That's why our platform is called Your Money. Let me quickly rush through these mistakes that we made. First, we shield our children from financial discomfort. Have this understanding at the back of your mind. When you're talking to children, you're talking to their spirit. You're talking to their spirit. Since God created Adam and Eve, he has not gone back to what he does is that Adam and Eve is reproducing. That's why you have the over 7 billion people on earth. Every spirit was created when Adam and Eve was created. So you are not necessarily older than your children spiritually. But because God is a God of order, set needs to come to create and download this next set from heaven. So when you are teaching your children, know this, their spirit man understand. Their flesh will not grasp it at the moment. But as they go, it begins to rejuvenate. Some of you can still remember some of the things you encountered as children, even in your adult. So speak to your children, have financial conversations with your children, knowing that their spirit man keeps it. They will ask you questions. Then the second mistake we make is over emphasizing spending, over saving or giving. That's a concept we must teach, this concept of giving. Let your children say giving. Individuals, to projects, to their church or mosques, to other fellow children, let them see it as an investment into this children. There's what is called the law of value. That whatsoever you give out that become valuable to him, just like I'm giving you this and creating value. Like when your life utilizes this and generates more value for you and your life becomes better, God traces the source of that value to me and it flows in other aspects of my life. So let your children understand that concept of giving. But of course, let them know that they must earn, they must save, so they will have to give. The Bible says, let him who steal no more, but let him work with his hands so that he will have to give. Start teaching for your children by actions, by behaviors, by words, by exposure. Then the fourth is that we provide unlimited money without accountability to our children. Because some of us have gone through a whole lot financially, we think that the best way of helping our children not to go through what we went through, constantly give them money. I will stop you from giving them money, but make sure that get them accountable for every gift. Let them understand that life holds you accountable for the money you receive. It is extremely important. Give them money. When they get back from school, tell them to tell you what they did with the money. That's where you're able to monitor that whatever they didn't spend, you can then come to invest, help them to save. And if you can double that, you will encourage You see that you give them 5,000 for the week, they'll come back 3,000. You see that children failures, yours is to create the right motivation, get them to do what they need to do. Then the fourth and final is not teaching them the consequences of their financial decisions. Teach your children the consequences of their financial decisions. I'm certain that this section of our podcast has influenced you a great deal. So I want to hear from you. Choose one activity to do with your child this week and leave that on the comment section. Telling us thank you for this session. I have decided to do this with my children this week. Yeah. Do that. Get back to us. Let us hear from you. Let's know how this is impacting your life. My name remains Osayi Tres Omokaro. I am the anchor for this session of the parenting financially. And I hope that this session would have blessed you tremendously. Share this video, share this podcast with your community. Let's raise healthy parents who will raise healthy, wealthy Africa. Needs so much. Shalom.